Hey, everybody, and welcome to Dirk Sundays, Dirk Weekends. How are you? I'm having a little weird blue screen issue today. I don't know what it is. I'll check out my little virtual background, see if that's working. I have green screen. It's like my phone is acting stupid. I don't know what it is, but it's strange. I'm kind of invisible. Anyway, how's everybody? Let's see who's in the room. I'll fix that while I can. Andrew Olkowicz with $2 Canadian, as he always does it every single solitary time. Thank you so much, Andrew. I didn't even notice that Sheen inserted some new stuff in there. That's really great. Look at this. I'm half invisible. What's going on here? I don't know. My lighting's the same. My camera's the same. Sometimes it's when my lens is a little dirty, which is possible. Possible. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Anyway, thanks so much for that. And this is funny. Right after that, Nathaniel had it says 10 US dollars. Insert Andrew Wolkowicz right here. And that's $10. So you get Gong Super. A couple of new little ditties in the room. Aren't they fantastic? Thanks, Asheen, for that. It's great to see them there. Who do we have in the room? We've got Dave at 451. Upvoted. Please all upvote. It's a Sunday. It's a new show. We've decided to give you guys a little bit of weekend fun. We have the Oscars tonight. I don't know if anybody gives a shit. I'll talk about a friend of mine who posted on Facebook all his pics, and I was flummoxed by it. We'll get to that. Billy G's in the room. Richard Petrie's in the room, listening to King Diamond. Yeah. Andrew, oh, he's here. Hope everyone's doing well, having a great day. You never know when he's working or not. Angelo, Minichello, good afternoon. Ray, Skint will make up for it next week. Oh, he's Skint. All right, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Lord H, afternoon, everyone. Hey, it's Donnie Fair. It's funny. Hey, I was just on the phone with Jimmy. We were having a conversation about the new Judas Priest album. And what do we think of it? We think it's not as good as Firepower. I think they should have ended their career on that album because it was a tour de force, and this new one I think is weird. Hey, it's Carolyn Marison sitting in the hot tub drinking tea, watching it snow while watching Eyebashes. Doesn't get any better. So I'm assuming you're in Stad or Banff or somewhere, because it ain't snowing here and you're not that far from me. So hey, welcome, Carolyn Martin. Enjoy your hot tub, your tea, and the snow. Dean's here. Dirk, so you're doing this live stream walk around in New York City and show us the site? I will definitely do one. Okay. Within the next week or two, I will definitely do a walk around, and you tell me what you guys want me to do, what you want me to see, where you want me to go. I mean, New York is just New York to me, so it's no big deal. But I know for people who have never been here or want to come here or want to see the stuff, there's the Statue of Liberty, Ellis Island, there's the Empire State Building, the 9/11 Memorial. There's a lot of stuff. I'll get a gimbal and I'll do that. Promise. PW says, greetings, everyone. Steve Moreno's here. No sound on the gong. No sound on the gong? I heard it. Okay, next one. We'll check it. On all the gongs? Hey, you know what I'll do? I'll just do the gongs right now. You tell me which ones have sound and which ones don't. Okay, here's the first one. I heard that. Did you guys all hear that? 2 is very low. So you let me know what you heard sound on and what you didn't hear snow on. Buddy Hell checked in. Thank you. Upvote. Donnie Fair, who used to be in my band Hitman, riding the SMART train to Sonoma County, getting off soon. We'll catch up. Love the show. Thanks so much, Donnie. Donnie was in the very, very beginning. Jimmy and I, my guitar player, and I were talking on the phone about stuff and the Judas Priest record and a bunch of YouTube. He's starting a YouTube interview channel about music and guitars and stuff. So he's just picking my brain about a couple things, which I'm happy to do because he's going to have some great content. Great guitar player, great songwriter, and purveyor of some very interesting instruments, which is really great. Go heavy driver, keep driving on down the road. Dirk, so tired, all that daylight savings. It doesn't have affected me yet. It takes me a day or two for the daylight savings times to hit me and go, I feel like I just went to Europe. Andrew says there's a bit of snow in Ontario. Well, oh, Canada. Donnie says, hi, Jimmy. Al Benedetti, snowing here in Ohio. I bet it would be a bit of the Jerusalem's here. Curious how long till Italy. Well, the Italy thing's not going to happen until all the ducks are in a row. I have some elderly people responsibilities to take care of here. I have some situations with this where I live, etc. And I would say the best it's going to be is as soon as we can. Carolyn says it's knowing in New Jersey, not snowing, but it's knowing. Well, we know it's knowing. Now, Nathaniel Hannon, $2. I vote for a Cloisters tour. Did you just put that one in? Because I didn't see them a minute ago. I think you just uploaded them. I think you did. That's hilarious. I love it. Somebody mentioned the triangles, and lo and behold, there it is. Andrew says 1 yes, 2 yes, but low. It is. It's more like a reverberation, like you're hearing me. My glasses are crooked. Are they? Let me put them on the table. No, they look normal. It's my headphones are making my glasses look lopsided. So I look like a kook. Yeah. Could you show us where John Gotti is buried? I'm sure you mean John Gotti. Nobody knows. I have no idea. Amit Grewal says, "Are you having a good weekend?" Yeah. Yeah. I mean, any day Laverne's feeling better is. She was weird the day before yesterday, like it looked like it wasn't going well, and then she kind of just came back to where she was. But today I saw her do something weird, and I think I accused her a little bit of maybe trying to eat a little bit of cat litter, which she has anemia, so that means she's searching for minerals. That's why she was like licking the bathtub, and now she's licking the subway tiles on the bathroom wall. So that's something that they do, but the crystal litter is not an option. So I'm gonna have to rethink that one right away. Des Ferris, evening, Dirk. Flipping cold and wet in Ireland. Hot chocolate on the way. I haven't had a hot chocolate since I was 11 years old. I don't think I have. I couldn't remember the last time I had hot chocolate, especially with marshmallows, because those are not vegetarian. They have cow bones in them. Gelatin is derived from the crushing of cow bones. A lot of people don't know that, but marshmallows aren't vegetarian. Dean loves the triangle, and Dave says more cowbell, and Space Ace says sounds like she needs electrolytes. Yeah, well, she's getting them. You're right. Space Ace sounds like she needs electrolytes. She's getting them, and she's getting a lot of potassium supplement, which we're doing. And I don't know. It's like a trial, and some days she's not interested in the tile or the bathtub at all, and some days she is. She's getting a lot of potassium right now. I figured a sneaky way to get it in there. What am I wearing? Oh, I'm wearing the Milgauss, of course. My green screen is acting really bad today. Usually it's really perfect. And it's like, I don't know, is it the color shirt? I've got a black shirt on. I don't know. Maybe I could just change the brightness on this. It's really going to bother me. Yeah, look at that. See, there it goes. I got rid of some of it. Somehow it got changed. And I just told Jimmy, oh, my setup's perfect. Every time I go in there, it's just absolutely perfect. So I could just move that around. Vibrance is bad. Yeah. Okay. It just seems like my exposure is weird today. You know what it is? It's probably because I'm doing it during the daytime, and there is a bit of light coming into my room, leaking in. Al de Benedetti, it's $1.99. He loves the mini triangle. And there you have it, the mini triangle for Al Benedetti. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, we're just trying to make super chatting a lot more fun. I'm so grateful to all the super chats. It's helping me not have to go back to bartending and making this my full-time YouTube job for the bastards. All you bastards out there, we love you. Thanks so much for coming in and tuning in. And you guys requested a Sunday show or weekend show. We decided, or through email and other things, you guys decided that Sunday seems to work best midday. I know that that's different for everyone if you're in Europe. And now we have daylight savings time, so that changes things by an hour one way or the other. So I hope it works for you. Donnie Fair says, you drank tea on our way to rehearsal. Yeah, I did. I used to drink Lions Gold Label every single time. Tea is actually a little bit of an astringent for singing. So I don't do that anymore. I drink, even though coffee, Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden drinks hot black coffee backstage. I had the advantage of many tours ago, like it was probably like 2008 when they did their World Slavery Tour, the real, like the anniversary tour, we had seats that were right behind the curtain, like at the curtain, so we could see what he was doing. It's called a dollhouse for when you're on stage. You have your Mister or cup of coffee, or like the guys in Aerosmith have, had drugs and cigarettes and whiskey and stuff like that. But Bruce Dickinson had hot coffee, and he would just guzzle hot coffee and then go back out there and be like, six, six, six. So I don't know. Water and Diet Coke. That's still my thing. Hunter's Angler whipped up a mean hot chocolate last night. Jet Puff marshmallows, whipped cream, and the whole shebang. I don't know what Jet Puff is. Is that a by the country? Very interesting. Dean says you need a troll alert sound for trolls, something like an air raid siren. Well, I thank you for the comments that a couple of you made. There's this one troll. I don't know what his problem is. As you know, I gave him my little Italian love letter last week. You listen, we all know who we are and what we are, and that's fine. This is a show for kind people, people who hold the door open, say please and thank you and all that stuff. But the last thing I say at the end of the show before it cuts me off is what some people are too, and there's nothing that you could really do. Some people are just like that. Trolls will be trolls, and you got to take the good and the bad. Listen, I've been in a band for 100 years, and sometimes people say, even if you think you did a bad show, there'll be people like, you guys are amazing, and you're like, well, thanks so much. But then even if you had a good show, there's always going to be detractors and people who say things. So when you're out there doing your thing, be it creative or public or otherwise, it's going to happen. And what can you do? You just have to take the good and the bad. Heavy driver, keep driving on down the road. Fuck the Oscars. Dropped the Grammys 3 years ago. Well, first of all, let me give you let's try the other. Let's do the small triangle. That's fun, right? Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I just figured it's something to do because it's on tonight, and I don't know if anybody gives a shit. I mean, I guess I'm gonna watch it, because Sunday night I'm caught up on most of my shows, I think, or I haven't started. If you guys have some great show ideas, send them to, and I will send it right here to basherdirk@gmail.com, and I'll leave that up for you guys to send your pictures of your wives, your mistresses, your cats, your kitties, your dogs, your puppies, your car, that guitar, or that watch that just makes you feel great. I was talking to a good friend of mine, Mike. I asked him to send me some pictures because I always had this little fascination with certain watches, but I never got into the watch game per se. And he was into it long before, and he's a Rolex guy. Big time Rolex guy, and he's got a really cool Datejust with a roulette window. Really great. I love the alternating red and black, and he's got a day date in solid gold, but he's got it on a gold oyster bracelet because he doesn't like the president bracelet, which I think is interesting. He considers it kind of old manny. I don't. I've grown to love that bracelet. I think it's beautiful. There's a couple of Omega bracelets that kind of mimic it, and I think that they're really cool. But I think that's a beautiful bracelet. But that's what's great about the world. We all have different tastes. So he's got a very rare thing. I believe it also has onyx indices. I'm pretty sure about that. Who knows? Hey, it's Jackie. Haven't seen you in a while, Jackie. Evening, dear crazy cat lady from Italy. Hi, ciao. Come stai? Great to watch you live. Usually I watch you the next day because it's too late for me. How's the lady doing? She's doing great. I just was talking a minute ago. I don't know. I think I caught her trying to eat crystal litter. I hope that's not true, but it is definitely a mineral issue. She has anemia, so we're trying to handle that. Mark Gerard's here. Happy Sunday to you. Thanks so much. Hey, so let me boot up my my Gmail account and see if you guys, good, you guys have sent me a couple of pictures. Great. I'll have them for the end of the show. And Tobster, I didn't forget. I'm going to send you the address today. I just read all the emails today. So thanks for that. And I appreciate that. Having a coffee. A Nespresso. I know I'm an Nespresso guy. A lot of pure coffee people think that it's cheating. I don't. I think it's delicious. I just like very black coffee. I like really strong espresso. And I don't put anything in my coffee. I don't use cream. I don't use sugar. So I like cafe doppio. That's it. I like a double espresso. Carolyn Martin in the room, the girl with the wrench, says, addicted to old Star Trek episodes. No time for the Oscars. Must continue the binge. We had a conversation the other day on the phone, and I'm a big fan of Enterprise. I think, as most of you know, it's my favorite. I mean, listen, there's the TOS, the original series, which is great, and Next Generation is great, and I love Kate Mulgrew, but for me, my heart is in Enterprise. I love the cast, the crew, and I love the stories that they tell. I think there's a moral to every episode, be it about equality or just morality or amazing things. And remember, guys, there's no money at Star Trek, which is really amazing. Andrew said, maybe buy a piece of marble for Laverne to lick. You know, I think it's coming to that. I'm trying to get her levels up to the point where the anemia is, held at bay. So she's not doing that. But yeah, that's an interesting thing. She's like licking this. We won't let her in the bathtub. She's not allowed in there. So it's all barricaded. So she decided that the subway tiles in the bathroom was the next best thing, which I'm kind of allowing her to do a little bit because I scrubbed it, made sure there's nothing impure there and weird. It's just glazed tile. But yeah, the litter thing is disturbing, and if that can't happen, because you can't have a cat eating litter, obviously. Ginge is in Hong Kong. You're helping out with the jet lag. Well, I'm happy to do that, and thanks for coming here on this Sunday afternoon. Send your pictures to basherdirk@gmail.com if you want to talk about watches or anything you got. I love cars, guitars, musical instruments, or anything, whatever steers the conversation. Because remember, this channel is about you, me, and everything in between. Chief of the Watches, Nespresso is good coffee. Tried Dolçao Brazil. I haven't tried that. I have to admit, I'm a size queen, so I go by numbers. I don't know what number that is. If it's 9 and above, I will drink it because I love really, really strong stuff. But I don't like that Kazar stuff. It's like 13 or 14, and it just tastes like murder. Carolyn Martin. Yeah, did you watch the first episode of Broken Bow, Carolyn Martin? It's so good, and the cast is so good, and it just gelled. It's like Jimmy and I were talking about how much he loves Ted Lasso, and I talked about how I love that too. And I think that the reason for that is because the casting is so well done. And I think a show is only as good as its cast. Imagine like Frasier, if they didn't have that cast. Cheers, if it didn't have that cast. Mary Tyler Moore, if it didn't have that cast. Seinfeld, it's all about the Dean wants the triangle. Which one do you want? You want the one? I'll give you the this. You'll get a little of both because that's awfully nice of you, because these are fun. And he just gave me a bunch of new ones, and I think he just slipped in a couple just now. I think he did. And thanks to Sheen for that, because it just makes the show more fun. Rufus just got caught up on watching Tokyo Vice on HBO. I used to use my sister's login for HBO and etc. Because they're cracking down on that whole thing, which kind of sucks. Because we're a family. Why shouldn't we share? It's family. And I even told them that. So I got to get that HBO thing back. I've never not had HBO. Out of all that was the first thing I ever had. So when I got cable, I had HBO. I've had HBO since I was an adult person. And it's weird to not be able to just go, because right before my sister changed cable providers, we just we re-binged all of The Sopranos. It's Sopranos, as some people say. And, there's great content. HBO was the OG on original content, original movies, amazing stuff, Hey, look who's in the room. Mama O'Malley. Hello, Jer. Was going to say a piece of coal. One of my cats loved coal. Well, that's pure carbon, right? I don't know. I got to, after the show, I'm going to be doing a lot of reading and going like, what the every day's a new adventure. I'm fine with the licking. I'm used to the bathtub thing. That's new, but I'm used to it in the wall. I'm used to it, but I can't have you. I was using Pretty Litter, and it's this premium litter that tells you what it's the pH balance of cats, pee is, so you know what they're doing, which is fine. And she seems to really like it, and it's very small, and it's pink, and it's lovely. But now it didn't come on time, so I had to go get this other crystal because I don't use clumping. I don't like any of that stuff. So I got these blue crystals, and they're very large. Just don't eat them, please, God. Go heavy driver. Star Trek Voyager, Jerry Ryan. I mean, one of the most beautiful smoke shows in the history of beautiful women. She is now on Star Trek Picard, or was. That show is now done, I believe. I didn't watch it. The beginning of it was really weird for me. And God forgive me because I never say this about anybody, but he just looked way too old. Um, just seemed it just seemed wrong to me. It's like watching Joni Mitchell get on stage now and singing both sides now. I mean, God love her. And somebody told me she's doing it for insurance purposes to, for her health insurance, or she needs the cash. I don't know what it is, but there's something sad about seeing your idols and the people who you worship just not at their best. It's like bands who go out on the road and keep on doing stuff. But I started watching that Picard, and I couldn't get past like the first couple of episodes, and I keep meaning to do it, and I will because people said it got much, much better. I do, however, love the newest one. But Discovery was just everything about that show, except for Michelle Yeoh, who was great. Yeah, Strange New Worlds, I absolutely love. Anybody else loving that? Let's see. Hey, Steve Moreno. Yeah, my teen sons are visiting New York now with their school group. How nice. We went there 3 weeks ago as a family to get them a bit familiar with the city. The spiral staircase at Lady Liberty was brutal. Oh, you did that? I did it once too, a very, very long time ago. I met some German folks on a flight back from Germany when my band was playing there, and they were lovely. And I said, hey, I'll take you on a tour. And I took them down to Lady Liberty, and I took them to the World Trade Center. And I'm grateful because it was the only time I had ever been there and seen it before. It was, before 9/11. So I actually got to go to the top of that, and we had lunch there. And I'm grateful. There's a lot of great stuff to see in the city. When you live in a big city, famous city, you forget there are things and attractions that people don't normally get to see. Like if you live in Dublin or London or Paris. I mean, people who live in Paris are surrounded. Like Sheen lives in Venice, and because he's not from there and he lives there, he knows he lives in a museum, and he talks about it all the time, which is great. It's great to appreciate. Like Emmett took us on a whirlwind tour of Dublin a couple of years ago when we were there visiting Mama O'Malley and company. And there's just stuff that you went to see the Book of Kells. We went to Trinity, went to St. Patrick's, did a bunch of stuff, and went to the oldest pub in Dublin. When I was a little boy, my dad used to take us to wherever he was drinking, where my Uncle Mick wanted to drink, because my Uncle Mick lived near the Phoenix Park. So we never did the touristy stuff, walked over the Halfpenny Bridge. I still never been to Guinness, ever. I've never been there. I mean, I'd love to have a pint of Guinness at Guinness, but I've never done it. I will eventually. Because we mostly flew into Dublin or Shannon and went straight to, either Limerick or Sligo, where my family hails from. So we generally didn't do a lot of Dublin unless we were visiting my Uncle Mick, who's, let's just say his political campaigns were, and we never knew if he was going to be there or not. And sometimes we'd see him, sometimes we went on certain trips, but we generally did. I just remember him, he had this great townhouse, and the kitchen was in the basement. I just remember he had a field in the back, and just getting riddled with nettles. I mean, nettles are these weeds that when they touch your skin, you get these horrible sores. It's disgusting. Horrible, horrible, horrible. So yeah, so let's take a look at this. Let me boot this up, and we'll just go briefly over this because it's on tonight. I figure it's timely. I usually have this booted up, but I was worried about the litter thing. Let's see. Okay, so here we go. And I'll start this with the gang, and then we can talk watches, and I'll boot up. We have about 10 shots from send me some more stuff. It's at basherdirk@gmail.com, and this way I will be able to show all your stuff. Doesn't have to be watches. Never has to be watches on this show. We'll be doing a full coverage tomorrow night on Watch Fashion Police with the lovely Michaela de Chatillon and with Oisin, and we'll be covering watches and the fashion at the Oscars. Of course, we do that every Monday night when time permits and when everybody's schedules align. It's usually every week, which is great, and I'm sure Michaela's going to have a lot to say about that. Let me get to Angelo Minichello. Sent you an email of something cool, but do read the note attached. Okay. Well, it's a pen. And that's really great. And I can't wait to look at that. And that's $10. And you know what that does? That gets you into the Gong. Or I should say big bell level, monk level. We got super chat Gong, we got super chat Gong, we've got monk level, Gong level, monk level. Then we've got massive Gong level, the nuclear explosion. There's a super. Oh my God, he's adding stuff to the show while I'm doing it. You want to come on? So funny. I can't wait to see the mega super chat too, because I just see the thumbnail and I know what that means. It's crazy. I'm actually turning red because I can't believe what that is. Oh man, and it's so timely too. It really is. So let me get into this and we'll start with this crap. And you guys can just rip it to shreds, or I will too. And that's what's going to be fun, right? So here are the nominations tonight for Academy Awards. Did everybody see? I saw mostly everything. I'm missing Anatomy of a Fall, which one of my best friends said it was horrible. I don't know how true that is. So I'm going to preface out today's chat about this crap, and I'm going to say this. Nathaniel Hannon says the massive gong sounds dirty. No, you're dirty. A friend of ours, collectively, Sheen, myself, Jer, everybody knows him. He'll remain nameless. He's been posting his critiques about the movies, and everything that he loved, I hated, and everything that he hated, I loved. And I was like, wow, this just says so much. Like, he thought that Poor Things was the most amazing thing ever. And, I got through some of it. And while it's beautiful looking, it is freaking porno. It is so crass and so over the top and so unnecessary and so stupid that it's like I didn't feel compelled to watch it. So I'm going to tell you what I think. I'm going to say who will win, who should win. That's what I'm going to do. And then that'll be fun. So actor in a leading role, we've got nominees Bradley Cooper for Maestro, Coleman Domingo for Rustin. I did not see that, and I don't even know what it is. Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers, Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer, and Jeffrey Wright for American Fiction. I haven't seen that either, and I adore Jeffrey Wright. He's Felix from the James Bond movies and so many more things, and I just think he's great. And that movie looks hilarious. And so I can't really judge it. So out of these guys, I mean, I think Bradley Cooper did an amazing job. I think he's gotten a lot of shtick for people calling it a vanity project, but I don't think you spend 6 years learning how to conduct and assembling a movie that looks that beautiful. And this friend of ours said that he thought Maestro looked terrible. Now, by far, it was the best looking movie of the year. Poor Things looks like Nightmare on Elm Street. It's very costumey and avant-garde and Michel Gondry-ish. And while that kind of innovation we've seen already, I'm just talking about in pure terms of cinema, Maestro was gorgeous. So I'm going to say who's going to win. I say Cillian Murphy's going to win for staring into the camera and not acting at all. I don't know why he's getting it. That movie was boring as hell. And I don't think he did anything in the movie. I pick Bradley Cooper. I think he should win. And I think Cillian Murphy will win. My two thoughts, my 2 cents. Actor in a supporting role. Sterling K. Brown for American Fiction. Again, I didn't see it. Killers of the Flower Moon. I saw it. Robert Downey Jr. for Oppenheimer. Ryan Gosling for Barbie. And Mark Ruffalo for Poor Things. I think from what I saw of Poor Things, I think that Willem Dafoe should have got the nomination over Mark Ruffalo. But Mark Ruffalo had a lot of medical issues, a brain tumor, and he's come a long way, and he's great, and everybody loves him. He's terrific. So he got it anyway. I think Robert Downey Jr. is going to win it, and I think he should win it, period. Actress in a leading role. Nominees are Annette Bening for Naiad, Lily Gladstone, Killers of the Flower Moon, Sandra Euler for Anatomy of a Fall, Carey Mulligan for Maestro, and Emma Stone for Poor Things. I think Emma Stone is going to win. I don't think she should. I think Carey Mulligan should do it because this is about acting, not about just. She looks like she's in a Bjork video the whole movie. Poor Things. It's just Bjork. She's just stealing Bjork's movements, and no. Carey Mulligan gives the best acting performance. I didn't see Anatomy of a Fall. Lily Gladstone does nothing, just like Cillian Murphy. She just mumbles. I had to put subtitles on in that movie because I could not understand an audible word out of that woman for the whole movie. And then she does I'm Dying in Bed scene, which was nowhere near as good as Carey Mulligan's I'm Dying in Bed scene. So I think Carey Mulligan should win. I think Emma Stone will win. Actress in a supporting role, Emily Blunt for Oppenheimer. She was great in that. Danielle Brooks for The Color Purple. Nobody saw that. America Ferrera for Barbie. I have no interest in seeing that. Jodie Foster for Nyad. She's, I did see Divine Joy Randolph, and she was exceptional, and it was an Oscar caliber performance. She was terrific. It was understated. It was natural. You never saw her acting. It was poignant. I loved it. I actually loved The Holdovers. I thought it was great. And to be honest with you, to go back to the top, if Paul Giamatti won, I would be thrilled because he's great and he deserves it after all this time. If they're going to do it, that's fine. Animated feature, The Boy and the Heron. I only saw The Boy and the Heron, and it was amazing. So I don't know enough about that. Cinematography. Nominees El Conde for of the movie El Conde by Edward Lockman. I saw what it looks like. I did preview what those look like, and it looked great. Killers of the Flower Moon, it didn't look so great. It was all right. I thought Matthew Labatique and Maestro did the best cinematography job of the year. Oppenheimer was the most boring movie of the year, and Poor Things just looked like a music video. Yes, it was startling and all that, but we've seen that before. It's nothing new. As far as costume design goes, maybe Poor Things, because it was the costuming was beautiful. Directing, Justine Triet for Anatomy of a Fall, Martin Scorsese for Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, Christopher Nolan, the worst movie he's ever made. Poor Things is Yorgos Lanthimos, and Jonathan Glazer for The Zone of Interest. I think that Christopher Nolan is going to get it because the Oscars love to give people what's known as a career Oscar because he's made so many good films and they've never honored him. And now is his time. The film grossed $1 billion. Martin Scorsese is the old school. And of course, Bradley Cooper was not nominated for directing it, which is really absolutely ridiculous. Documentary film. I don't know. I saw To Kill a Tiger. It was amazing. So that's. Oh, I saw 20 Days in Mariupol. That's interesting. I didn't see The People's President, and I didn't see The Eternal Memory. So, is there anything else in here I can actually comment on? Makeup and hairstyling. Oh God, Golda. Why? Oh, wait a second. So Bradley Cooper can't put on Jew face, but Helen Mirren can. Oh boy, she had tons of prosthetics on that on her face to look like Golda Meir. Boy, that's not fair. Remember the flack he got for that, and they were calling it that hideous term. It's terrible, Jew face as opposed to blackface. When I heard that, I couldn't believe people actually said that. But it was Jewish people who said it, and I was like, his family were fine with it. They just changed his nose a little bit. I don't think they used it at the end because at the end he looked exactly like Leonard Bernstein. I saw The Society of Snow. By the way, that should have been nominated for Best Picture because it was incredible. We've heard the story before about the team that their plane crashed in the Andes and, they ate each other literally, and that was horrific. So music. Okay, this I can do. American Fiction, Lara Cartman, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. By the way, I watched a lot of the Dial of Destiny, and the aging they did in that was really, really, really good. And they used that guy who looks just like him too for other things. It didn't look bad. I'm going to finish that movie. I thought it was really good. John Williams. Killers of the Flower Moon is Robbie Robertson. God rest his soul. He's a genius. I don't think he's going to win. They're going to give it to Ludwig Göransson because he has won everything else. The music in Poor Things was good. Do I think Ludwig Göransson deserves it? No, because no one anything can touch anything. The worst thing John Williams can do is better than the best thing anybody else can do. Original song. This, I've heard them all. I listened to them all, and this is fun. The Fire Inside from Flamin' Hot. Music and lyrics by Diane Warren. She's been nominated 800 times. She's written 1 million popular songs in the world, and most of them are absolute crap. So she's not winning. I'm Just Ken from Barbie. Music and lyrics by Mark Ronson. Who produced Amy Winehouse. He's the stepson of the guitar player from Foreigner and Andrew Wyatt. It's a stupid song. Never Went Away from American Symphony. Very poignant. I think John Baptiste is a very talented weirdo. And Dan Wilson. Not going to win. Wahazi, A Song for My People. No one's going to care about that. And What Was I Made For? The best song that Billie Eilish has ever written. It's the best song I think she's ever done. I think she's just growing as an artist. She's going to be around for a really long time. She's written by her and her brother Phineas O'Connell. It's definitely going to win. And it should. That would give her 2 Oscars. Wow. And how old is she? 22, 23? Best Picture, here it goes. Is too many nominees, by the way. Can we agree with that? Let me look at the chat to see if everybody's getting mad at me. Okay, no, good. You're not. Let's see. I saw some funny comments. I love you guys, man. Best pictures are American Fiction, Anatomy of a Fall, Barbie, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things, and The Zone of Interest. Okay, so what's going to win? Oppenheimer's going to win because it's a career Oscar. It's what was it, 4 hours long? It's ridiculous. Both that and Killers of the Flower Moon are way too long, hideous. Out of all of these, I think that, like I said, I thought Maestro was a masterpiece. The only problem I had was that they did not, or Bradley in particular, did not show the gravity of this man's career. They did not show the how important he was to a popular American music and his impact by exhibiting his original work. Okay, yes, conducting. He's not considered one of the greatest conductors of all time. He's considered a very interesting, he's like a celebrity conductor. Great conductor, but not considered, he's not one of the great classical. He's not in that pantheon. He is in a different category. He is, however, considered one of the greatest composers in the world, and they did not feature enough of, West Side Story, Candide, these things were one sentence out of Carrie Mulligan's mouth. She goes, well, if he wasn't so concerned with, the stuff, the accolades he got from West Side Story and Candide, that was one sentence, and that's it. This is a guy who wrote, Tonight and Somewhere, and absolute legendary songs. It's incredible. I don't know. I think it should win. It's not. Oppenheimer's going to win. So I will say, I think The Holdover should win too. I think it was a great movie. It brought you back to a certain time. It had a really beautiful aesthetic. It looked like a film from 1972. It even said in the beginning, I noticed it said copyright 1972, which I thought was cute, or not. I haven't seen The Zone of Interest. The Zone of Interest is supposed to be about Germans living a happy high life while they live like adjacent to a concentration camp, right? That's what I've been told. Tell me if I'm wrong, but that's an interesting take to see, people picnicking, going to restaurants and stuff while people are being murdered next door. I think that would be unbelievable. I think that's as far as I'm going to go with the Oscar thing, right? That's enough. Those are the only ones that they televise anyway. It's like nobody gets Best Engineer of the Year award at the Grammys. They don't give a shit. Nobody gives a shit anymore. Okay, so we got a super chat. What do we have? We have Guarams Abu Seridze. Abu Seridze. Did I get that right? You guys sent me a super sticker. I don't know. It's fun to try to pronounce names like that, but it looks good. And it's €2.49. Thank you so much for that. It's so nice to have a Guam around the house. Andrew says that people have different tastes. Free will lets them make their own choices. I will choose free will. We don't have to agree with we don't have to agree with anyone. I was watching the Judy Garland show with coffee this morning, and it wasn't shot on film; it was shot on videotape. What a sin that CBS, this giant corporation in the early 60s, decided to give the greatest singer in the world at the time and probably forever, pop singer, her own show, and decided not to use film. They used this new magnetic tape format, and the transfers are terrible. Anything shiny creates blotches all over the screen. It's kind of like the way the Honeymooners looked. It's just done on the cheap. And, she's got guest stars from everybody and their mothers. Every single great artist from that era is on her show. And she delivers these stellar performances. And maybe AI can fix that. That would be great. So, that's what I watch in the morning. I'm not watching any of this. I could have watched 2 other films today, but I don't want to. Rufus likes the holdovers. Mark Gerard says, I'd love to see Paul Giamatti win. Great actor, great voice, also crushed it. But yeah, listen, he's been around for a really long time. He's got a shitload of Emmy Awards because of the John Adams thing, Sideways. He's made so many memorable roles. I don't think that he's a very... has much range as an actor because he's always kind of Paul Giamatti, and that's fine. Movie stars do that. He came into the restaurant that I was working on, and somebody said, "Oh, Paul Giamatti's upstairs." I went and I said, "I can't find him anywhere. He just didn't look like the way he does on screen." But he tipped 200%. So does that tell you who he is as a person? Steve Moreno says, poor things remind me of The Lighthouse with the use of black and white, not camera. You know what I noticed about that film is that it's not really black and white. It's just desaturated because there is color in it. Just that they just pulled all the color way back. Like I could do that for example. I'm going to pull that back. I'm going to go. Oh, it's going to screw up my, it's going to screw up my green screen if I do that. If I pull the color, that's a shame that that does that. Basically, when you pull the color out, they're still a little bit. They did that with Schindler's List with the girl with the red coat. That film was shot on color stock, and they just desaturated it. So when they needed that, they just highlight that, and so she had the red coat. It wasn't like they superimposed the red coat. It wasn't shot in black and white film. It was Janusz Kaminski, my favorite cinematographer, talked about that in depth and how he did it. It was really, really, really super cool. Cloud says that the prosthetic they used, but you know what? They only used it in the beginning of the film because he was young and very skinny. And Bradley Cooper's got a big enough nose. It was maybe a bad choice, but later on in the film, it was astounding. If that was prosthetic, he looked exactly like him, which was crazy. CW Watch Enthusiast says, hi, Dirk. Just finished catching up on the classic bashes, so I'm just starting tonight's show now. Well, hey, welcome. We're going to do a little bit of watches in a bit. And that's a very cool watch, and I don't know what that is. Picture's too small, but it's very cool. Yeah. So right about in about 5 minutes, we do the viewer wrist shots, but they might be doggies and kitties and all other things, and that's fine too because that's what the show's about. It's about you and me and everything in between. Al Di Benedetti says Emma Stone in Poor Things was like if Ray Harryhausen had an animated porno. Yeah. Carrie Mulligan deserves the win. She does. It's supposed to be an acting award, not how many times you had a certain sexual act performed on you and reaction shots and jerky movements. And no offense to her, she's got an Oscar already. This is not an Oscar caliber film. Maybe for Willem Dafoe it is. It was ridiculous, and it was like porno, and it was hard to watch. The Awesome Powell, I love you, man. The Killers of the Flower Moon. It was really boring though. It's just like pick up the pace. The shots were so long. So I like a great long shot, but it felt like everything was long. Andy Dufresne saw Dune Part 2, and he said it was outstanding. I never saw the first one. I got to go. I've read the books, so I will do that. Ray loved the lighthouse. It's because you live there. Because you probably live in a lighthouse in the end, right? The end of a little isthmus in Ireland, and there's probably the wind whipping around your door, and fairies and things like that. You live that life. It's amazing. We'll come visit you and bring a bottle of wine. How is that? Okay, so that's the comments for now. Remember, if you have pictures for this segment of the show, please send them to basherdirk@gmail.com, and I will feature them because I just pull up my new Gmail account, and I will get that going. Let me pull up the Gmail. And let me get rid of this thing because I just opened up an app that I don't want open because it takes up bandwidth, etc., etc., etc. So we've got Carl with a bit of a tag. Let's see what's going on with you, Carl. Nice, beautiful. You're taking a while to get that shot going. Okay, thank you so much. Look at that. Let's get that nice and centered with his chronograph tag Hoyer, with the date at 4 in what looks like a rhodium dial oh, that's a ceramic bezel with a very oyster bracelet, if I do say so myself. Very interesting pusher and crown guard. It almost looks like they're modular, like they're all one big piece. Very, very, very cool. Thank you so much for that, Carl. And next up to bat is Steve Moreno. Oh, wow. We all know and love this particular watch. He is killing it. With the seaweed is my nickname for this one. This is the Omega Speedmaster Professional. Of course, it's a coax master chronometer. Incredible. Beautiful watch. Worn well on your wrist, I might add. Skeletonized hands. Date at 6 in that beautiful seaweed green. This was the hot ticket. It was actually waitlist for a little while. Everybody wanted it. I think it's available now for the most part. But remember when everybody's going crazy for green dials, green dials. Everybody wanted a green dial. That was just what everybody was going. They could have done like a Starbucks version of this. They could have done a black bezel, but they didn't. They just kept it true, and it's a great piece. And thank you for that, because it's gorgeous. Thank you so much. Yes, that was Steve. Angelo. Oh, here it is. Here's what he warned me about. So I'm going to read the... here it goes. It's a beautiful pen for a children's charity. Hey, Carolyn, are you having a look at that? Because Carolyn has some beautiful pens, which I happen to... Do I have it right here? This is my pen from the gorgeous Carolyn Martin. She gifted me. It is a dream to write with. And this is beautiful. Look at this. Wow. Is that Japanese writing on there? Oh, it's Tibetan, isn't it? Wow. Wowie kazowie, man. Thank you so much for that. What I will do is I will now read that, because I can't have them open at the same time. Okay, let me open this up. He said, this pen was launched to raise funds for child education. The inlays are of the ABCs that children first learn in various languages. So it was in multiple languages. That's a beautiful sentiment, and what a nice thing to do. Unbelievable. It's a Mont Blanc. Mont Blanc. Mont Blanc. So what do we got now? I've got the next one up is Dave Knoll. Hey, we got a couple. Thanks. I love multiple pictures because I don't have to pull the program out. I can just go from one to the other, and it's great. Oh, man, here he is with his, oh, Jesus, let's blow this up. Oh, man, his Daylight Luminor Panerai chronograph. Holy smokes-a-roni. That's beautiful. Well-worn. I love a man who wears a well-worn watch. Looks perfect. And you must have a big wrist, because that's a big watch on the Panerai rubber. Looking amazing. Panaristi. What a beautiful watch. My father-in-law is in the market for a Panerai. We just haven't decided on which model he's obsessed with at the moment. But, you know, it happens. Let's see what else he's got. Oh, and there he is. This Tudor. This Black Bay. Unbelievable. Wow. I just love the knurling on these. Hey, see that watch? He's got a big wrist, because look at that. Big pull on this guy, because that watch looks real, almost small on him. And I was going to say it's very Oyster perpetual style bracelet, but it's Tudor. They're Rolex, aren't they? Boom, on the gear shifter. Look, that's looking pretty cool. What a great shot. What a great action shot. The only difference with this is they have those weird bumps on the bottom of the, like, here's an Oyster bracelet, you know, and it's either clean or it's got screws. And this thing has screws and these weird bumps. I don't know why they do that, but it's weird. And the other thing is they have like little end caps. Other than that, it's a very oystery like bracelet. Back to the Panerai. I absolutely love it. And thank you so much for that. Love the shots, man. They're very cool. Thanks, Dave. 3 shots. It's got to be great. Heavy driver. Keep driving on down the road. You know, some of you guys have theme songs, some of you don't, but, you know, Hey, the more you show up on my radar, the faster you get one. It also depends on your name. He's the glycine guy, right? Or the glisten guy with the airman. And he's on his skis. I've never been skiing. I should ski, right? I'll kill myself though, because I'm a daredevil. I'll probably this looks like a ski jump, doesn't it? Look at the grooves that have been made by previous skiers down this slope. Wow. Fisher. When I was a kid, Rossignol was the big Sims, Rossignol. What were some other big brands of skis? I had these neighbors that were my best friends, the Francois, and they went skiing to Montreal. They go to Quebec. I still have a Quebec. I should dig it out and put a belt on it. Belt buckle that they got me. I don't know, in the 70s. Beautiful. I love that. I love the Rehaut is kind of like a red. I don't know what it's for. I don't know what the functions of this watch is. It's 24-hour. Is that what that is? Interesting. Yeah, I guess it is. It's an Airman. Beautiful watch. Very cool. Thank you for that. Send your pics of whatever kind to basharddirk@gmail.com and we'll feature them for you. Donnie, send me whatever guitars you're playing, man. I'd love to know what you're up to musically. One day I'll do a state of the guitars since I don't have enough watches to keep you guys busy. But I'll do that. Ladies and gentlemen, the incomparable Dean, who is a very, very big player on this show. He's a super chatter. He's a super commenter. He's a super sticker. And he said, look at this beautiful butterfly. Not quite a monarch, but something very unique and different. Look at their antennae, man. Nature is the most beautiful thing in the world. And we are so mean to it. We do such terrible things to it. Look at that. That's incredible, man. That's what God can do, man. Incredible. Look at this. Look at these beautiful pictures. What'd you shoot that with? Did you give me? I'll look at the email in a second. Very interesting. Thank you so much, Dean, for your contributions, for everything you do for the show. I really appreciate it. Hey, here's Hudson Harvey, and he's been around for a while. Oh, what is he making there? Looks like he's making a risotto in a Dutch oven. So let me pull that up. Let's have a lookie and see what you're doing. Oh, maybe I feel like making a risotto tonight for. That's a great idea. I'm going to make, and I'll take pictures. I'm going to make mushroom. You want risotto tonight? No answer. I'll do mushroom. I'll do a mushroom. Everybody does mushroom risotto. I'll do mushroom. Yeah, I guess I don't know. I can't think of what else to do. Let's blow this up. It looks to me like he's making, because there's a bottle of Chilean white wine, the Alzar. His wooden spoon on his induction cooktop. Obviously, we can tell what country he's in by the plug on the wall, which is very cool. I won't say what it is if you don't know. That looks like a Staub. Are you using a Staub Dutch oven? I have a little bit of Staub envy. I have a couple of pieces from all the big brands, but I don't have Staub, and I think Staub is the only one that's got these kind of stalactites in the lid. So when you're like slow basting something or making a stew or whatever, not that I make that, but I do make things that kind of steam out. It brings the vapor up and then they hang and drip back in. So which is a really cool feature, I think. That's beautiful. Tell us what you're making. I think you're making risotto. I think I'm going to make a spinach risotto tonight. A spinach mushroom. Spinach, you have to add it at the very end because otherwise it'll just get whacked. That's dinner. Hey, Dirk, it doesn't have to be watches. Well, here's my homemade mushroom. I was right. Here's my homemade mushroom risotto. Maybe this could be a new thing. It could totally be a new thing. By the way, tomorrow I'm going to go to the post office and see if the winner of the lemon cake, if I'm allowed to send it to him. He's in the UK, and I'm more than happy to send it. I think cake might be allowed. If it's not, one of you guys are getting it. It came out beautiful. It's Dana's recipe. I made 2. We ate half of one. I made the lemon drizzle last night, but I do have that lemon cake. It's got a beautiful lemon drizzle on the top, and it's gorgeous and dense and hearty. One of you lucky guys will get it. And you US guys, because this, it's the thing. I'm not trying to put walls or fences up, but I think I can send a cake to him, and I hope that I can. But he's like, oh, I'm in the UK. I don't know if I could do it. You're going to be allowed. I hope that I can. And we got some motor shots from Mr. Carver. Let's see what's going on here. We love to see your rides, man. Beautiful. What do you got going on here? It looks like a Harley, right? Harley Davidson. Yeah, you Harley guys. See, this bag on the back is what Neil Peart from Rush. He had one of these and it fell off, and it had his Patek Philippe Calatrava in it. And he went back to get it, and they found pieces of it, but they never found the actual bag. Somebody had actually taken it off the road and then tried to find out who it was and then put it in their garage and forgot about it. And meanwhile, then the guy died and his wife was going through it and she goes, "Oh yeah, we found this on the road like 15 years ago." And she opens it up and she goes, "Oh, this gold watch looks kind of expensive." So she contacted Patek Philippe and found that it was Neil Peart from Rush's watch. And see, every picture tells a story. I don't know what this story is, but I had my own. Oh, look at this. Is this you in your very first? How great is that? Tell us what that is. Did you in the email? How cool is that? It looks very California where you are. Looks like the 70s because the 70s had that look to it. You can actually use that as a in Final Cut Pro and in a lot of different filters. It's kind of like an LA sun glow. You know, you get on the 405 to the piss ash and you make a ride on the honey to the chicken shack. You know what I'm saying? Cut across the banger, right? And then you go to Marina Del Rey. Very California and very cool. Thanks, buddy boy. Who else we got? That was the very last one for the shots. It was watch heavy, not lifestyle heavy. So let's just get into for the last part of the show. We'll get into the comments and see what we got. Last was Al Daddy. Andrew says, "I wonder if your shirt has a slight green tint to it. Maybe that's it. Why you're you know what? I don't know what that is. I've worn this shirt all the time on this show. It's just a black peak polo shirt. I don't know. Who cares? Who cares? I don't know. It's very strange. Very, very, very strange. Who we got? Let me see if I missed anything. Did I miss anybody? Okay, here we go. The last couple of Vasilius, you got here so late, man. Well, welcome. It's good to see you with your Luminor clock. Dean says, Hudson Harvey, epic movie seen twice in glorious IMAX. I think what Hudson Hawk. Remember that one? That's a Harrods edition for our daughter. I love things in context. Thanks so much. Very, very cool. Proust, Stuttgart. Yes, Dirk, we want risotto tonight. Can I make a funny statement about the best? And Jimmy Baki, if he watches the show, we were in Stuttgart. We were in your town, and there was a Mexican restaurant. We played this very weird club called the Cinderella Club. And I don't know if it's still there, but it's like three floors up, and we had to lug gear up the stairs. It was narrow and weird. And our manager had flown into town for a couple of shows, and he took us to a Mexican restaurant, and I had the best quesadilla I've ever had in my life in Stuttgart. Dean says, that's brave sending the lemon cake to the UK. The delivery driver will probably eat it. Well, I looked up the rules, and it's kind of vague, but it seems like cake is okay. And that would be great, because if cake is okay, then we'll be sending it. If not, I'll just throw it at one of you guys. Hudson Harvey's in Scotland. Wow, looks like L.A. And time flies. Just upvote. Yeah, please upvote and subscribe. If you're a fan of the show, if you want to be a part of the show, please send me all of your emails to basherdirk@gmail.com, and I'll feature you on the show. I tried to get my friend Mike's watches because he's got a President gold with onyx indices and a roulette dial Datejust, which is just, I think it's a showstopper. It's great. And that's like his daily driver, which is nuts, but it's totally true. So please send all your pictures to that. I'll be back tomorrow with Michaela de Chatillon, the beautiful Michaela de Chatillon, and the equally as handsome Mr. Oisin O'Malley. And thanks, Oisin, for all the new super chat things. I'm gonna show the last one that you sent because I haven't seen it. Nobody hit us with the mega super chat, but let's have a look. The real Lenny and a little Mahler goes a long way. Thanks so much for that. That's the actual performance of Leonard Bernstein that Bradley Cooper, I believe, tried to recreate flawlessly, as I think he did. Hope you enjoyed my Oscar picks. I think it's true. I think it's a shit show, and I don't think nobody gives a fuck. But that's just the way it goes. And what are you gonna do? So if you're not watching the show tonight, enjoy your evening. Remember to say please and thank you. To remember always to hold the door open, and never, if you can, try not to be a dick to anybody, unless, of course, they're a total.